fans, welcome to the Muscle Car Modeler. This is Ral, and Happy New Year for 2021. This is the 10 I managed to finish this last year, and I thought there would be more. I'm pretty close to finishing a few, but I'll get into those. But here are all the ones I actually completed this year. Some were planned, some were not. I knew I wanted to finish this one. I had started that one last year, so these two were definitely in the cards to get done. And then along with this one, I had announced last year's New Year video that those were planned for the next year. And there were a few others that were planned, but plans change and you know how that goes. So some of these took over and some of them were just quick builds, like my Pantera here. That's the tester's kit. And pretty much right out of the box, other than I had the decals made in black instead of gold and painted it sublime green. And that was a quick build. Pretty simple kit, but did that one. This one was going to be right out of the box, if you saw the video, other than opening up the hood scoop and actually painted the decals on instead of using the kit decals when I started to realize they were wrong. And then I bought this resin body, which this one I'm really proud of, and then Keith Marks did the decals for me, tweaked them a little bit, but really proud of that one. That's probably my favorite one about all these that came out. And then this one was kind of a stalled project, so I finished that one and got decals for that. That one was also stalled, but you saw the body was painted. I just needed to finish the interior. This one was one I didn't really plan on doing. I did the kit review on the AA Arcudas, and I had bought the new 1/25th scale kit. But this was the second edition of the 1/24 scale kit that had a lot of complaints about its body as well. And since I had built two other AA Arcudas, I decided I'm going to build this one and do it as a quick build. So I built that one mostly out of the box. A couple of tweaks. I added the bigger rear tires to it. And just detail painting, but didn't do much of that one. But I'm pretty excited. I love the AA Arcuda. It's just my favorite Cuda as far as dressed up and everything, even though it's a small block. I just love the looks of it. Enjoyed building that one, even though at first I didn't like it, and I didn't keep the kit. I bought it once before, and then I did the review for you guys and got another kit and did the review and decided I'm going to build it, and I still enjoy building it. Accuracy wise, it's kind of goofy in some spots, but enjoyed it. And then the GNX and GN came out. Revell re-released that one finally after all these years, and I had these two kits. Basically was just needing decals, and since Revell came out with a kit, I decided I built that one, finished it up, got excited and built that one. So got the two GNX twins. This one's pretty much right out of the box. I didn't really do anything to this one. Just enjoyed building it. But this one, still mostly out of the box. The only thing I did do is I tweaked the rear end. So I made a GNX diff cover and the suspension a little bit back there. So that's really the only tweak to this one. But enjoyed building both of those, even though they weren't planned for the year. The 69 Chevelle from Revell, enjoyed building that one. I wanted to build a Yenko, and did one long time ago, or had one planned a long time ago from the AMT kit. And while I bought the Revell 68 kit, I hadn't built it. But the 69 kit, I got excited, so I built this one. Changed the wheels, tires, decals. There's this whole series of videos on me building this one and what I did to it to tweak it. So those are the ones I did get done this year. I got many in process still, and I'll get to showing you some of those and where they're at the moment and what you can expect in the next year. So for that, I really appreciate everybody watching, everybody subscribing, and everything that's going on. My channel is growing. For a channel that I started like a year and a half ago actually, and first 6 months learning and doing everything and figuring out how to do the videos, and growing since then. So I think I was somewhere right around 500 subscribers at the end of last year, and I managed to grow it to 1,000 thanks to you guys and get monetized. So I've been monetized in the past 6 months, which is nice, and now I'm a little over 2,000 subscribers. So it's doubled in 6 months, and it's growing fast. So I really appreciate all of that and all the feedback and everything. So I'm really enjoying how it's growing, and everybody watching my videos and taking in everything. Oh, and then this one was a Shelby Series 1. This was a long stalled project that I painted like 4 I think 4 times, but this one's finally done with a couple of sets of decals and everything, but I think I forgot to mention that one. But got all these done, so I'm gonna clean these up, put them back into the display case, and we'll continue on, and I'll show you where some of my projects are that are almost done, and some of the projects that I hope to get completed this year. Well, I'm going to go through some of the projects here that you've seen on the channel. Here's the 71 GTO, and as one of my recent videos you saw, I did the resin casting. So I got the air cleaner cast and glued up and painted. I started getting that painted, and the body's been painted. This is atomic orange. So this is and it's base coat, so still needs maybe a little bit of sanding, but it's pretty much ready for clear. So I got the body painted, and then the interior mostly done. You can see the armrests in there that I cast from my casting video, so those are in there and it's looking pretty good. And started detail painting the dash, so a little sneak peek of that, and then a little work on the chassis. And I started working on my resin wheels, mainly just sanding the backs flat, getting them ready, and I'm going to start detailing them. I've been asked quite a bit for how I detail my tires, so I plan to do a how-to on that when I do these and maybe one of the other ones. But so I got a video of that planned in the works for you, and this one's coming along really nicely, so it won't be too much longer and this one will be done. I was hoping it'd be done for this year, but no. So I'll show you this one, and I'll move on to another one of my projects you've seen. Then of course up next here is the MPC 71 Camaro that I'm restoring from a previously built kit, but you've been watching the progress on this one. Nothing's really changed on the chassis here. That's pretty much ready, other than now the axle's falling out, so get that back in there. As I was mocking up wheels and tires and dug out some of the AMT tires, and I'm going to use these on it, so I got to detail out the wheels and tires. But I finished detailing the interior, so it's ready to go in, and the body's got its second layer of paint, and it's ready for clear. So I got 2 down ready for clear, well actually 3, but we'll get to that one. So this one's almost there, so looking for a weekend where I can clear coat some bodies. Hopefully I'll be able to do it this weekend, but we will see. So we'll move on to another one of the projects you've seen. And here's the 72 Charger I've been working on. You notice a couple of red cars and an orange car, but it's painted and ready for clear. This is the one that's going to get the clear and the vinyl top, but I got the decals on it already. And you've already seen this in this stage. I really haven't touched it much since the last filming of it. But it's ready for clear. Just basically got 3 ready for clear. And then the same thing, dug out tires, started working on the wheels, getting them fitted, and just tweaking a few things here and there, but need to get the main body cleared, and then I'll detail more of the interior and some of the other parts that go along with this one. So this one's coming along, but as soon as I get clear on all 3 of those cars, those 3 projects, they'll move pretty quickly. And then this one's getting that vinyl top, and I plan on doing a how-to video on how I do that, spraying with the airbrush to give it more of the texture, since there is no texture on that roof. It's completely smooth, but just a trick that I've learned to do that. I'll be getting all 3 of those bodies cleared at the same time pretty much, hopefully real soon. Well, here's one you haven't seen in a while. This is my 69 Baldwin Motion Phase 3 GT Mini Exotics resin body build that I bought and I'm redoing. I've been having some challenges with it. You haven't seen an update on this one in a while. One of the last times I was trying to paint the hood and paint the stripes on it, like I did the blue Baldwin Motion and I put the white stripes on it. That worked out, but when I was trying to do this one, I was having problems with the paint peeling, and I think it's because I'm using acrylic over the gold, so it's, to me, a spray, but it's synthetic lacquer, and then the transparent yellow is actually acrylic. So mixing both of those, I think, is part of my problem. And but I didn't really have any peeling, but I was having problems getting the black paint to stick on top of the gold, and I stripped it, then I primed it and painted it, and then I had some 71 LT1 Corvette decals that have the stripe that's real similar to this, but they have LT1 on the inside. I was trying to lay those down. They were older decals and they crumbled, and they didn't quite work out, and they didn't quite fit either. They didn't quite fit the contour of this hood. They're meant for this hood, but they didn't quite fit the contour of that one. So they weren't working out either, and my plan was to paint the black on the inside and just use the pinstripe, and that didn't work out. So this one's kind of been off and on my bench, and I want to get it done. It's still a holy grail kit of mine, but one of the solutions was this is the original decal sheet from Mini Exotics, and don't really know if it's usable. I wasn't really going to risk it. So I ended up scanning it and sent it to Kenny Terry. If you guys are familiar with Kenny Terry decals, he straightened them out, cleaned up the resolution on them, and he made me a few sets. Yeah, there's 4 sets here. I was going to say, I'm like, wait a minute. He made me 4 sets. You know, I paid for them, but he made me 4 sets here and got them going on this one. So I'll get the hood painted again and get it all caught up, and then get the decals on it and get this one cleared and painted. Part of it is I haven't lost motivation on this thing. I just the other projects have kind of taken priority, but I'm going to get back to this one. This one will get done, even though I wanted it done this year. My goal was to have it done this year, but it didn't quite make it. And he does, Kenny Terry does pretty good work. He did a couple of sets of my 70 Javelin for me, and then also a set of decals for a resin body I have that I plan on working on. So, and his turnaround time was actually pretty good. It took, I think, about a month for them to come. So I'm pretty happy with these, and this one's gonna hopefully get done again this year. But you know how some projects get in the way, or some things just challenge you, and this has been one of them. Not that I'm gonna throw it against the wall or anything, but that's kind of why you haven't seen it. Is I've been having some challenges, trying a couple of different things in the hood, not really working out, and stripping the hood, 3 different times already. So I need to paint that again, get a sprayed gold, and then the transparent yellow to match this sheen, and then continue on with it. So that's where this one's at, and I plan to finish this one this year. Well, here are 2 that you really haven't seen on the channel, but well, this one's an older project, and I want to get back to it. Had a lot of fitting issues, and then here's the most recent AAR CUDA that I did the review and on the CUDAs. So after finishing the 3rd one, I want to do the 4th one. So I did get started on this one. I did correct a little bit of the wheel opening moldings and doing a little bit of the body work to this. But I'll show you what I did to this, and getting the body ready for paint. It's going to be plumb crazy. But this one, slowly working on, but not really a priority. Just kind of been playing with it. And one thing that does bother me about this particular model kit and car is it has Dana 60 in it, which is fine for the Hemi CUDA versions. The Hemi 4-speeds would have the Dana 60 in it, and even some of the automatics. But the AAR CUDA did not come with the Dana 60. It came with an 8 3/4. So here's an 8 3/4 that is from another kit, and I believe this is from the 71 Duster AMT kit, which is also 1/25th scale. And I'm going to glue this together and cut it and change the end, so I'll make it the same width. I'll pretty much take these tubes and glue them on here so that I have these axle tubes, but this center section. So, and then I'll do a how-to video when I actually do this part, so you can see how I do that. And so that's another how-to I got planned. And then this will get finished, I'm sure, this year. And then this is a Johan 69 Roadrunner project that's from 2014, and it's got the AMT chassis under it, and it's Model Haas resin conversion for it, A12 Roadrunner. And I've had some fit issues, and since then I've marred the paint and messed up the decals in a couple of spots, all of the fittings, so I've chipped the paint a couple of spots. So It needs I may strip this body or I'll just do a little bit of cleanup, and I had to buy more paint, so I have the paint now. This one's not really ready for paint, but it's ready to get back to it. And then something I get asked all the time too, and I think I'll do another how-to video, is just how I get my glass so clean. And it's really, like, this one's pretty dirty. I'll do a how-to video on just cleaning and polishing, and then how I use Q-tip to get the white glue in there and how I glue the glass, and I'll do it on a couple different ones. But this one was a rebuild project, and it's one that I would like to get done this year. It's been sitting since 2014. Well, not really sitting. I've actually played with it a couple of times, but I would really like to get this one done. So both of these Mopars are planned to get done this year as well. So there's a couple more for you guys to see and look forward to, along with many different bodies that I've purchased. And I kind of enjoy doing the resin reviews, showing you guys some of the resin things. The only problem with that is one of my counts was real close to 100 resin bodies, and many of them I have collected in the past 20 years. Most of them are not available, but I would like to show them to you guys. But that's the double-edged sword, is some are available, some are not. This stuff, when it comes to resin, comes out and can go away. Like, this is a resin conversion kit from Model Haas, and it was only out for a few years before they closed. But a few other people have 812 parts to convert Roadrunners. But it's kind of hard to keep track of who has what, when it's out, when they stop making it. Prices fluctuate. So I really like resin, and I want to promote resin, but it's kind of hard to, when most of my collection is now vintage stuff, and some of the stuff, when it's available, and then it's gone. And that's just part of the game when it comes to resin. But I've got a large collection of resin, and same thing with the model kits. I've got something like 400 to 500 projects in my closet of model kits that I plan to build. I have pages of what I would like to do and what I have, and I mean, I build what I want to build, and I got plenty of kits and plenty of projects. So much like many of you guys, my biggest issue is really finding time to actually work on all of them, and then film them and edit them and do all the stuff for the channel too. But the channel's growing, and I'm really excited about all of that. So I really appreciate all of the support and the comments and all of that, and then getting it monetized and watching it grow in the past 6 months of monetization. And I've had the channel open for a year and a half now. My first video, it's hard to believe, was in the last weekend of August. I think it was August 27th of 19. That was my first video, and I didn't get monetized until June of 20. And it was the last week of June, I believe. Yeah, the very last day of June. I had one day of June I was monetized, and then July through the rest of the year. So the channel's growing, and I really appreciate all the support and all the comments and sharing and all of it. It's a lot of fun for me, and I'm glad I'm providing something for you guys and value to keep you guys watching and enjoying this stuff. So I appreciate it, and you guys stay tuned, and I'll see you next Saturday.